Good luck to you both. Buena suerte.
Wants to be a fighter. And what we need to find out right now from Gamboa is if the same is true of him.
But both guys have two knockout losses, Jim, so they kind of mirror to one another. Also, so both guys are kind of the same. Turning points in their career. Whoever wins this fight will go forward.
Checked out because they could not deal with his multiple skills.
An Olympic gold medalist, a freakish athlete, blinding speed.
And actually more amateur fights than Lomachenko.
Yes, Gamboa also not all that long ago.
His opening introductions, let's make clear, the fight is scheduled for 10 rounds, not 12. The only 12-round fight on tonight's card is the main event. Hard right hand by Gamboa.
Good body shot.
Good body shot.
Here you see right here, Jim, as Sosa was coming in, they both engaged, and there was a headbutt that may have caused an abrasion over Gamboa's eye, or at least there'll be a knot that may form later on in the fight.
Not the quicker of the two fighters to be going forward into Gamboa's wheelhouse.
What they have an extended amateur background to get them through those first 3 or 4 rounds. Then you try to beat them in the later rounds. And Gamboa only had 3 weeks, I think, to get ready for this fight.
Training camp, which created the opportunity for Gamboa to step in and get the appearance here in a fight opportunity he really didn't earn, but rather was given.
15 days, I mean, you're a beast for taking that, especially with a new trainer. He's trying to pull out a big victory here. If he can do that, he will be saying a lot as far as him coming back and being a figure in this weight division.
In the old days, you would have said the skill level edge is so big for Gamboa that
to bring Gamboa back to what he once was.
2 clean body shots by Gamboa. Solid investment for the future.
Yes, and part of the reason a guy like Gamboa would take a fight like this, Jim, is that he feels that his pedigree, his amateur pedigree, is so superior to Sosa's that he should be able to beat Sosa even on 3 weeks of training.
Sosa backs down to no one according to amateur pedigree or pro pedigree. He got a controversial draw against Nicholas Walters at a moment when Walters was regarded as one of the top 2 fighters in the division. Most of us felt that the scores in that fight were incorrect, but nevertheless, Sosa got credit for a draw.
See Sosa able to land some heavy leather so far.
That would be the cut that was initiated by the headbutt in the first round.
And they may have just had another one. Oh, good overhand right by Sosa.
Sosa's landing upstairs. Gamboa landing cleanly downstairs. It's been an active, aggressive fight. Rather than a 12-round fight, we get to our unofficial scorer, Harold Letterman, a little bit earlier tonight.
19-19. I gave the first round to Yuriorkis Gamboa. I thought he did more. I gave the second round to Jason Sosa because he was landing those hard right hands.
There's a sense that Gamboa is a faded fighter, if not a shot fighter, who needs to hang it up, reacts to punches sometimes. His legs are still there when he gets hit. He's getting hit more often than he did several years ago. But punishing fights, as the rounds pile up in a punishing fight, is he willing to dig deep and really fight it out to get the win?
He's never taken an accumulation of punches. It's usually 1 or 2 punches that put him down.
Yeah.
Realized that Castellanos is an all-or-nothing right-hand puncher who could do that to anybody. And
Gamboa blames his recent, ineffectiveness at a certain level on 475 amateur fights. So it's understandable he wouldn't be sharp.
Well, he was in the fight of the year 3 years ago against Terrence Crawford. Roy, did he make a mistake going up in weight and going on the road to fight Crawford in his hometown?
Yes, Crawford on the moon if you're the bigger guy. Doesn't matter where or what size. It might be a mistake to fight Crawford.
But Gamboa was getting the better of him in the first 3 or 4 rounds.
Here you see Gamboa land a beautiful left hook right there. Sosa's hook fell a little short.
Round 4 of the scheduled 10. Yuriorkis Gamboa against Jason Sosa.
Gamboa just landed a good left hook to the body. And Sosa is very smart, Jim. He knows that Gamboa only prepared for 3 weeks for this fight, so early in these rounds to get him fatigued.
Later in the fight, but Harold Letterman already has Sosa up a round in the early going after only 3 rounds. So we'll see whether Gamboa can gain control of this. Rounds are close enough.
Maybe a knockdown. Yet against a larger fighter, not the same power. I like that.
Good body shot by Gamboa.
The ref, I like that stop holding.
Burst there for the Cuban fighter.
feel really bad for guys like Gamboa who have to deal with that inactivity range, because you never know what they could have been had they not had the inactivity.
Couldn't have been a worse fight. I mean,
Nope.
Walters had nothing for him.
No.
CompuBox numbers in round 4, 16 out of 51 to 8 of 39 for Sosa. Sosa slowing down just a little bit in that 4th round. You see that now they're even on Harold Letterman's unofficial card. Good hard right hand by Gamboa.
I mean, that's what you saw Gamboa do just then. It's flashes of what he's capable of doing. And he has no anchor foot to stop him from getting pushed back and knocked down that way. And earlier in his career, he was a very aggressive fighter.
Oof. Clean right hand by Sosa, answered by right hand from Gamboa.
Cuban school of boxing. And throughout much of it, outboxing Sosa because of that great amateur pedigree. That's right.
Put another 3 there, make it 33, and he do match Roy Jones, who had more appearances on HBO than any of the other star fighters we've covered.
That's it.
Expect a guy who perceives himself as a great counterpuncher with hand speed like Gamboa to be backing up some of the time. Harold Letterman, how do you have it unofficially through 5?
All right, I got it 3-2. Yuriorkis Gamboa. You know, Jim, in rounds 4 and 5, I thought Yuriorkis Gamboa. On the other hand, I thought Jason Sosa landed the harder shots. I think he's the harder puncher. But Gamboa boxed really nice in the 4th round and the 5th round, and now he's got the lead by 1 round, 1 point on my card.
And to my eyes, try to build a significant edge in the fight. There's a good left hook.
So far, but the test is coming for him in these next several rounds. And Sosa is a heavy-handed guy.
When most fighters here at the featherweight to lightweight range are thinking about packing it in.
Yeah, because they've usually taken so much punishment, Jim, because of his balance and his, his erratic style. He gets knocked down usually because he is off balance. So I don't really think he's taken a whole lot of punishment.
Yeah.
And at 130, he seemed to be absorbing these punches a little better even than he did at 135.
35-pounders hit a little harder. An entirely different story.
Will not back down. These are his best chances and best rounds.
CompuBox numbers are not one-sided, though Gamboa has the edge.
Was that even as he appeared to visibly tire,
Gamboa's glove touched the canvas, and here is yet another knockdown of Yuriorkis Gamboa, and that's a big event.
Buckle Gamboa's legs.
Likely not in the best shape, or the shape that he'd normally be in.
Good left hook by Gamboa. So it remains to be seen if Ron Lipton just did Gamboa a favor by telling him to fight, not hold. But no doubt, staring at the possibility of a 2-point round for Sosa here.
No, he's got the wrong ref in with him on a night where he needs to gut it out if he's having stamina issues.
1 minute to go in the 7th round, and this situation is getting a little bit forbidding now for Yuriorkis Gamboa.
Yeah, he's throwing a lot of arm punches, Jim. Oh, that body shot hurt him bad. He's throwing a lot of arm punches, and when you throw those arm punches, you allow yourself to be caught by a big punch from a real puncher because you're throwing arm punches.
For hitting behind the head, I'm not 100% certain at whom that particular warning was issued.
I like those kind of warnings, but
The punch that hurt Gamboa was this hook right there to the top of the head, Jim. That caught him, messed up his equilibrium, and you watch his leg right there. See the right leg buckle, and then it went down and the hand touched the canvas. That's why the ref had to call that a knockdown, because both gloves touched the canvas.
Another balanced knockdown, basically.
It was balanced, but the equilibrium, because of the shot to the top of the head.
May have a little bit of a working advantage as we come to the 8th of the scheduled 10 in recent rounds with that straight right hand. And there you see Harold Letterman's unofficial card.
Now it no longer matters.
Yeah, I feel as though Gamboa was boxing pretty well given his activity level in recent years.
Roque Otano, and you heard Jerry Olaya, and she lost one. Fact is, there were only 7 rounds up to that point, so, and knows that there are 3 rounds remaining in the fight, not only 2.
Gamboa's trying to mask the fatigue.
May have caused some problems. Even he grunted afterwards because he realized he missed it.
I think he landed the right hand. Left hook to the body by Sosa. The left hook lands upstairs. Not a big blow.
Punch the
Now he backs Gamboa into a corner and hammers him with a right hand to the body. You think Gamboa is tiring?
Yeah, he is tired, Jim. That's why he's not moving as much, and he's not using his legs for defense.
Round 9 of a Schedule 10. Harold Letterman.
5 rounds to 3 for Jason Sosa. You know, Jimmy, I think he's landing the harder shots. He really is. You know, early on I thought that Yuriorkis Gamboa was boxing Sosa. He throws 5 to 3, Jason Sosa. Jim, one last thing. We talked about Ron Lipton, the referee. You know, he's a very experienced referee.
A little bit more laissez-faire.
Yeah, I agree with the philosophy of warning fighters about holding earlier. Lipton warned Gamboa early that he would take a point away. It's forced Gamboa to hold tactically only briefly, which for a tiring fighter is an issue. It's also, for given those circumstances, he is a fighter who's hard to discourage with punching power.
Roy Jones has been talking about Sosa landing the harder punches. Harold Letterman said Sosa's landing the harder punches. Roy, I'm coming to the conclusion that if that's the case, it's partially because Sosa is balanced on his feet. There was a time, a decade ago, when you wouldn't have thought it possible for a fighter of Gamboa's talent to lose to a pure worker, a gym rat like Jason Sosa. But it's certainly possible right now.
Oh, good body shot by Sosa. Very good body shot.
Stabilizing fight for him if he's given other opportunity.
Yep.
Level of determination, even with the holding. And with his boxing, which is more careful than we've seen him box recently.
That he's won the fight pretty much, just take it easy this round. And that's bad information, I think, because I'm not sure that he's won the fight already.
No, but it would be interesting to see with more activity.
Yes, it would.
If he doesn't survive this round, he may not get the opportunity at this level for a minute.
All sorts of problems outside the ring.
Yet at this juncture, gratuitous. I know he said he was going to do it, but you got a little bit over a minute left in the last round of the fight. I don't know.
It's just been the story of Gamboa's life as a professional fighter in the United States. Things don't go his way.
And in terms of his career ending, that would be up to him because he is a name. And if he's perceived as vulnerable, put Gamboa's pelt on their young fighters' wall, on their resume. So he will likely have the opportunity to fight.
The opportunity to properly prepare for this fight. That's how you want to make his last judgment.
I'll be impressed with his stick-to-itiveness if he makes the decision to stick with this trainer and try it one more time.
Really for this weight class.
He bought a house in Cuba.
The winner by majority decision, Yuriorkis Gamboa.
Well, sometimes it doesn't go your way, and sometimes it does, and this time, Yuriorkis Gamboa, despite a lot of adversity in the fight, finds the good fortune necessary to earn a decision win.